Hello, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Zazerwit, and this is 6 Fan Arts, the second one, and I'm back! I'm back! After an eternity of doing absolutely nothing except trying not to stay dead during the quarantine. That is something I'm trying to do right now. Why am I doing the Jewish thing? I don't know. Why am I starting off this way? It's a bad way to start off. You're not Jewish. What are you doing to yourself? How are you all doing out there? Are you going crazy from staying at home too? I'm not. I'm still working. I work in retail. Yay, essential services. Yay, 50 hours a week at work. I'm not broken. Neither are you, because I don't know who you are. But I have some idea. I know what your usernames are. Basically, if you reply in the comments section, I'm making myself sad all of a sudden. But yes, I've been partaking in various art projects, animations, working on story thumbs, that sort of thing. And as you can see right here before you, learning, or maybe not learning, how to draw better. Yes! So for this composition, I had gotten 6 suggestions for characters, because that's what this is. This is the 6 fan art challenge. For those of you who don't know what that is basically you have this template in front of you, and you just draw in 6 characters, and a lot of people like to make them interact, like I did here. And the characters I had were Sailor Jupiter, XJ9, Kim Possible, Alastor, Fifi La Fume, and Clover. And if I have to introduce any of those characters, I feel sad for you. Okay, Alastor I can understand because he's relatively new. But, so, actually, does that make him the youngest character here? I think it does. Yeah, it does. It does, actually. It's kind of weird to think about, because he's from the 30s, but I'm getting off track now. The whole idea behind this is that there was a video on Twitter just before the Has-Been Hotel pilot aired, and there was this girl looking at Alastor's design in the video, and she was freaking out, going, "Why is he so hot? What's wrong with him?" I can't do her voice. My voice is a little blown. And what's wrong with him? Just freaking out about how hot he was, how hot his design was. I don't quite see it. The teeth kind of detract from everything else. It's like, oh my god, your teeth are yellow. What happened to you? I even did a toothpaste meme. Some of you saw on Twitter. that wasn't hated by the community at all. So anyway, I took that idea and rolled with it. And I had Fifi La Fume and I had Alastor, this purportedly very hot man character. And I thought, wait a minute. Yes, Fifi La Fume. She is the female Pepe Le Pew, the skunk who chases all of these cats. Yes. But she's going to be chasing a different type of cat. She's going to be chasing a radio hip cat who is dead. Yes, does this count as necrophilia? That took a dark turn real fast. But as you can see there, I used the Vibsy Pop hearts coming off of Fifi La Fume. Because everyone likes the Vibsy Pop hearts. That's when the hearts are all following a certain shape and have a certain lankiness about them. Because Vibsy Pop, that's what she does. She takes things and make them lanky. And I'm not saying anything against her. You hyper fanboy girls, you. But these are some hyper fanboy girls right here. I don't know. Maybe they want to be boys. Who knows what their lexicon is? Whatever the word lexicon means. I don't know. I don't care to bother to research these things because I'm hyper energetic, and I just did like a 5-mile run before I did this video because I'm stupid. And I'm hearing banging on the other side of the. Oh God! 1 second. Kitties! Why did I hear books fall off the shelf? Kitties! Sorry for that. Fucking cats. All my Harry Potter books are now on the floor. God damn it. God damn it, kitty. Stop that. And the audio tapes. Well, they might be audio shards by now. Oh, well, sorry for the interruption. Will I edit that out? Probably not, because I'm a lazy bitch. But, these bitches aren't lazy. They're going after this radio demon who's a mass murderer, but they don't care because they're all love-struck characters. Well, 3 of them are. Because you know anything about Fifi La Fume, like I said, she's the female Pepe Le Pew. She goes after men. She smells bad. They don't like her, that sort of thing. That's what's going on between her and Alastor. You have Clover over there sort of daydreaming about him, because that's kind of her thing. She goes after a new guy. Oh, is this a new guy? Oh, there's a new guy. It's Charlie. It's Jappy. It's something like that. I haven't seen Totally Spies in a long damn time, all right? And there's Sailor Jupiter up there. Every man she ever meets reminds her of her boyfriend that she already had. Not something you ever want to say to a guy, by the way. If you're a girl trying to date a guy, don't lead with that, especially if you're like 3 feet taller than him, like Sailor Jupiter is. Actually, I just noticed. Is Sailor Jupiter taller than Alastor? Alastor's like supposed to be like 7 feet tall or something like that because he's been stretched out like a taffy machine. I'm making the Vivzy Pop fans madder and madder and madder, and they're getting angrier and angrier, and all the downvotes are coming. I might become legendary for downvoting. No. Don't go down that road. Don't go down that road. It's not worth it. No. Those books better stay on the shelves, kitty. I don't care how you feel about J.K. Rowling. I hear you. I know what you're doing. They like the hardback books. I don't know why. And so up there you have XJ9 and Kim Possible back to back. These two characters mean a lot to me, even more so than any anime character, because these are the first cartoon characters that I'm not going to say I had a crush on, but I had a crush on because, I was an appropriate age at the time they were released. Oh my God. 2003 and 2000 respectively for these characters. Oh my God. I am an ancient bastard by your standards. Oh dear God. And you can see they're up here. XG9's up here going, I don't know, I kind of like the Robot Boys better. She does always go for Robot Boy. Well, not always, but she has a thing for Robot Boys. As soon as Silver Shell, that's a hard name to say, Silver Shell came along, she kind of just dropped every other boy. But she did go after Don Prima. Then he turned out to be a jerk. And then so she just decided to hold out for Robot Boy. Then Sheldon came along, and he became the Silver Shell. I just spoiled half the damn show. Sorry. To try and impress her, and it all ended horribly. My Life as a Teenage Robot is another one of those shows that needs another season to conclude itself. But it did get a movie. It kind of fell apart at the end, mainly because they're running out of ideas, I believe. That's certainly the vibe you get from watching the last season. Here I am rambling about that. Moving on to Kim Possible. Kim Possible, well, actually, she was never kind of boy crazy. What was it? It was Josh Mankey that she really, really liked. And according to this animal astrology fad thing going around, her ideal mate was Senor Junior. Which I need to watch all of Kim Possible after this. That was her ideal mate, and so they're both up there going, I don't know, I don't see it. And my reason I'm doing this is because it fits the characters a little better. And also, it's a Nickelodeon and Disney character. That whole thing. I'm not going to go into. Let's get into the politics of studios rejecting online media. That's not controversial. So anyway, I was really trying to get more detailed shading, not realistic shading. This is not realistic shading in the slightest, but it is logical shading for the flat colors that I selected. And this took a very, very long time. In total, this is about 18 hours for me. Because I had to work on this like a couple of hours every night after coming home from work. And you're just so out of the zone at that point. That you're just like, oh God, what color was this again? Oh, it was red. No way, it was orange. No, it was blue. No, blue and orange are the same color, right? That sort of mindset when you're really, really tired. Oh, God, struggling for thoughts at the moment. I keep thinking about my book. I see you over there, kitty. Thinking about my book, sorry. Zazerwit is as easily distractible as he was when he was called Anime Freak. Yes, I am. I have ADD up the wazoo. Motes of dust. Hang on, people. There's motes of dust floating past my eyes right now. There they go. Out of my field of vision. Off to go and torture the doctor and Donna Noble. Yeah, there's a reference for you. But here I was really going for let's start with Alastor. I was going for not my version of them, but certainly a more different approach, which is what I always try and do. Because how boring is it for a creator to see fan art that looks identical to something that they would have drawn? You know what I mean? I mean, I suppose it's nice in a way, but it's like, I see something different. That's the motto I go in when drawing fan art. Except for Clover. I really wanted to get Clover really close, but I'm talking about Alastor right now. Brain, focus with me. Yes, voice going because you're old. So I got Alastor here. I was trying to make his suit look, all silky and smooth. You know, that sort of satin. It wasn't silk. It was sort of a satin material that a lot of 1930s, which is the era he's from, suits were made out of. You know, fancy suits, not day-to-day suits. His is a fancy suit because it's bright red. Uh, you know, that sort of Broadway-esque, real flashy sort of thing. You got the piping being a different color slightly, and what it is how you get that effect in a suit is you have threads going one way, and then the pinstripes, are going a different direction. The threads, so you have horizontal threads for the whole suit, and then you have vertical threads for the pinstripes. It's not that simple, but you know what I mean. Hopefully, and then trying to get his hair just right. I always forget to draw the horns, but I don't really like the horns on Alasteror all that much. Excuse me. No, only because they're just black horns. They're not all that prominent. I'm looking at a picture of his design right now. How old do I sound right now? I am talking about a character from the 1930s, and I'm slowly starting to sound like someone who is from the 1930s. You know, and all them radio demons they're all about in the damn 30s. You know, complaining about this and that. Television's gonna take over. I know it wasn't invented then, but for God's sake, I'm gonna stop it. Anyway, so just trying to make it a bit more uniform. His suit, you know, he wears black pants, so I gave him the same color pants as what he wears. And, you know, I'm gonna get a glass of water before I start turning into a goat for realsies. There, I got a glass of water. That helped? Not really? Alright. So moving on to Fifi LaFume. Or was I done talking about Alastor? No, I was not done talking about Alastor. I don't have Tourette's, damn it. Or whatever condition makes you forget things. I don't remember. You have his monocle right there. It's a wonderful monocle, all shiny. It's all shiny. The water didn't stop me turning into a goat. No, I'm turning into a billy goat up here. Oh, dear God, no. Oh. Excuse me. I'm 33 years old. God, I've reached life expectancy at this point. Oh, it's been a while since I've done this. So yeah, I was just trying to make it look all silky and satin and smooth and all that. Get his shine on his shoes and make his teeth look all nice and shiny and sparkly, like everyone likes to see on Alastor. His all charisma flowing out into these women, causing them to feel things that they shouldn't and do things to their bodies that we can't talk about on YouTube. It's probably going to get claimed anyway, this. But, moving on to Fifi. Trying to get all that fur nice and neat. Brevity is not a strength of mine. Trying to get all that fur nice and neat and get all that shading in there was really hard. It does kind of look like a trash bag. You know, as one item like you would see a plastic model of this character. But, you know, one step at a time. Trying to get all that done and learn it all at once is not a good idea. You end up with results like this. But, you know, time is time and patience is patience. I don't know what I'm talking about either. If you're lost, no, you're not alone. Moving on to Clover. I must have really shredded my throat. I'm very out of practice. I'm sorry. Good Lord. Why'd you record this so late? I don't know. You're doing a great old man voice. I'm not trying to. So with Clover, I was just trying to get her suit to make look like the, what is it called? Not vinyl. It's polytetran, it's poly something. It is a synthetic material that the suits in Totally Spies are supposed to be made out of. They mention it in the show, but I can't remember. So I was really proud of getting the metal clasps on her shoulders, really shiny. I was really proud of that in this piece. Her hair, I really liked. Looks a lot like a broom, a Disney broom, and all the piping. Gave her the gold piping around the neck, because sometimes she has that in the show. Sometimes she doesn't. Depends on whether what season you're in, I think. Uh, uh, so the middle of the suit was a different material. It always was. So I gave that a different level of reflection, like a matte material than a more shiny material going in. Right there. I am desperately trying not to lose my voice right now. Her eyes nice and blue. If you look really closely on the image, you can see on deviantart.com/John S. Thompson. You can get a real close look on that. I can't right here because I'm using the lovely Windows photo viewer, which doesn't work all that way. Well, oh God. I must be 1 billion years old by now, by internet standards. My channel started in 2006. I really am an ancient fossil. So that was Clover, getting the skin. As you can see, I started with Alastor and moved my way towards Clover, then worked back, then went to Sailor Jupiter next, whose hair was really nice. I really liked the way it came out. All the different layers. I probably took longer on that than I should have. But at this point with the skin, Sailor Jupiter skin, I'm starting to get a flow for it. The right shading, because when you shade, you don't just go straight into black. You have to go into a complementary color. At least that's the way I did it here. There are many other ways of doing it. This is how I achieved this effect right here. For example, you look on Kim Possible's hair. I'm going from a very light yellow for the highlights and all the way back into a dark blue purple for the shading, that sort of thing. That's what I was playing with in Sailor Jupiter's hair, and her face is where I really got that down, in my opinion. I think I obviously I'll get better as time goes on, but I'd say what's not getting better as time goes on is my voice. Slowly but surely, I'm turning into Don Rathman. No one knows what that reference is. He's a coworker of mine. So yeah, I really like the transparency of her ribbons, which are always pink and green and translucent. Whenever you see a Sailor Moon live show, they always use this transparency like wrapping ribbon for the ribbons and little, I'm not sure what you call that, epaulettes on the arms. For this gauze material, and I really like the gold, made that shiny for her tiara, and the jewel, and the heart gem, which all the sailors have. Well, no, they don't all have heart gems. They all have type shape of gem, depending on the season and what version of themselves they are, because there are many levels to the Sailor Scout regiment, as it were. Moving on to XG9. XG9's coloring right here, I'm really proud of. I wanted to give that oil spill kind of look without going too much into reds. So I just did from greens to purples, which really came out nice. It made her look all shiny and posh. I also gave her a little more details on her coverings, because that's what she is. She's basically a Michael Bay Transformer, but not shit looking. She can turn into anything. If you've ever seen the show, you know what I'm talking about. All these different parts that move around. The show is a very 50s style thing. I love that. It's really the only show that really hammers in that 1950s, late 50s atmosphere. Because in that period they were sort of trying to emulate the 40s. So it was a reinterpretation of 40s and through the eyes of the 50s, which is what My Life as a Teenage Robot was representing. And I really like this movement of her eyes that I got down, and a little shading, make it look like eyeshadow. There we go. Like she was wearing that, which she never does in the show. Well, maybe one episode where she goes to prom, but other than that, I don't think she ever did wear it. So yeah, I like her attitude. Just like I really like. As you can see, I struggled with that for a while. Just this sort of way she's holding her hand. I was trying to get a dimensionality that her hand was thinner than it usually is. And it's coming at you. One finger, and she's raising one up. And you see the shadow in there. I'm trying to get that down. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if the other finger should have been there that high up, but but past being done. I declared it done, therefore it's done. I'm not a Lucas. And we're going into 20 minutes here, so I'll try and hurry up. So Kim Possible, I really am proud of the skin shading on her. Going from she's supposed to be a ginger redhead, but I gave her more of a general redhead hair that has that sort of blonde striping in it, like mine used to. When I was young, it wasn't bald. uh, and I'm out of breath. Good Lord, talking about old, I'm getting out of breath. But her shading, I really am proud of. Oh God. As it really, really came out this very smooth, not doll-like, but very controlled sort of fade from white all the way down into the darker purpler colors that you would see, at least on my face, because that's what my face did, and that's what I referenced with a lamp that I had at my desk. And a little shake of her hand, the shake lines around there. I'm really proud of how that came out. And the freckles all around her skin, that's beautiful. The flow of her hair, I'm very happy with. That is my absolute favorite part of this piece that I managed to achieve. Is just the silky look to her hair that I imagine she would have in real life. Because if you look at the secondary animation on Kim, her hair flows very easily. So it would be this sort of soft, flowy hair, even though she's in combat all the time. And on the quick note on the backgrounds, I tried to make the backgrounds emulate not the look, but the overall vibe, the color imagery of the shows that they're from. Except for Fifi, because most of the Tiny Toons just takes place in the sort of park environment or school environment or urban environment. And I just wanted something that reflected the fact that maybe she doesn't smell so good, so I went with that. I tried not to do the whole you know what I'm go referencing, but I'm not going to talk about it because ick. There's a dark part of Twitter, I'll put it that way. So yeah, and the overall background is just my usual sparkle pops. You got the bubbles, which I'm very, very fond of, and I use too much of them. You have the dots covering the little toothpaste stripies. That's how I like to think about that look of the background, the way I do that. It's like a toothpaste ad you would see back in the 90s. They would have all this flowing stuff because they were really trying to push the twisty, twirly colors inside the toothpaste because that was a gimmick at the time. 3-way chemicals to clean your teeth more efficiently. That sort of thing, Mr. Potter. If you get that reference, I'll give you $1 million. The imaginary dollars. I don't have real money anymore. And the last detail I added on this was the golden background to the nameplate on the very, very top, which you can see very briefly in the video. It says, give me 6 characters to make fan art of. Made that very shiny, very golden. Did my best to convey that. And on each of the individual nameplates, I just gave overall vibes that were in contrast to the background. So you see on Ginny's, you have lots of red, so I put greeny, orangey, yellow to fade into. Made it very bright. Her background is very dark. On Kim, her background is fairly bright, so I gave it darker plates. And Clover, I just did with opposites. Made it look very 60s-ish, because it's sort of faux 60s, what the Totally Spies vibe goes for. This sort of millennium, sort of foo-foo, girly stuff. Barbie-esque, I think you would say. Stuff. And Alastor, I gave him white noise and just his radio knob eyes. I still think if you tweak his nose, he'll change the station. But at the moment, that's all I have for you before my voice explodes. Thank you so much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching this. Sorry I don't upload very much, but things, I work a lot in my day job, and I get home and I try and do something, and I just usually pass out or force myself to stay awake and do bad work. I'm working on that, getting my health back up. As you can hear, I'm not doing all that well. I have kind of been sick since this whole thing started. You know, that kind of, am I sick? I'm not sick. Am I sick? I'm not sick. On and off. I am going to work, but I am in a cloud of sanitizer the whole time, wearing masks. They actually gave me a faceplate to wear, so that's nice. But don't worry none about that. You all have a very nice night. You stay safe. Will YouTube take this down because it said stay safe? We'll see. Thank you so much for joining me. Let's Plays might return soon, as soon as I can get my voice back up to strength, because as you can hear, 20 minutes is enough to rob me of it. So I'll be working on that and trying to get everything done, animations and stuff. Thank you so much for your patience, and especially for 431 subscribers. That's incredible. Thank you, and you have a very nice night. And I really am happy that you all have stayed around throughout all this. Thank you so very much, and you all have a very, very nice night. And I'll try and take better care of myself. Thank you so much for your concern on Twitter and Discord and on DeviantArt. Thank you so much for everything. And I don't know if I can say thank you enough times. This is why I'm saying it so many times. You all have a very nice night again. And thank you very much. I'll see you around.